Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ripple Effect. We're down here by the lighthouse. I have not done a lot of work. Well, actually, I have done a lot of work in between episodes. It just looks like I haven't done a lot of work. So I want to work in this section today, but am having creative issues per se. Hang on. Yeah, so I ended up asking for a little bit of help on the Withering Effects Discord, posting a picture, asking people what to build here, and I tried to build some of the things suggested, and I didn't like how they were turning out for me. I wasn't able to relay the thought process correctly into the blocks, at least on this scale. The hardest part is that's the nether portal. You can see the purple glowy stuff. I cannot dig into this mountaintop. Everything I do here has to be on top of it because it'll ruin everything from the inside. That's what makes this really rough. What is orange over there? Okay. So yeah, I'm struggling. So I'm going to continue to think about this, but right now I want to work on getting this little pathway in a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to build anything here with how close the lighthouse is. So this might get textured, but I don't want to really work on that till I know what I'm going here. See what I'm talking about? Everything depends on moving this section and figuring out what's going on here, and I don't have a clue what's going to go here. The only thing I have on my mind right now is maybe some kind of awning type thing. So we did that over at Fisherman's Cove. This is what I would call basically an awning top, and it turned out really well, but this whole area was kind of designed like this for a reason in my head. Like even when I was putting the first layers down on the mountain, I kind of had an idea of what was going to be here. Over there, I have no idea. I have no clue. So it's starting to get kind of rough, and the problem is the way I think, I just can't move past it and go work on something else. I keep getting drawn back. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of piddle around, see if I can come up with anything, and then I'll bring you guys back. All right, after another hour and a half of fiddling around, I have an idea, and it's gonna require more terraforming, but I think it might look good if I can do it right. So I'm thinking about making a smaller peak, almost about the size of the lighthouse, that's going to start about down there, come up through the dock, and just come to a point about right there. And then we're going to have a kind of a little land bridge going to that plus sign I've made right there. And then we can have, actually, you know what? For what I want to do, that might be a little too high. We might want to bring it down a little bit, maybe do about right there, because I want a land bridge that goes across, and then we're going to hang leaves and vines and lanterns from it as a way to add some cool lighting effect. And then we're just going to terraform this and just keep it natural. That's the best way to get around it, I think. So what I'm going to do real quick is kind of get the general shape of the spire or peak or whatever you want to call it coming out of the ocean, and then I'll bring you guys back. Okay, real quick before the sun sets, you can see the lines. I'm not even gonna act like that was a lot, but yeah, so this is gonna be the height of the structure. This is gonna be essentially, well, it's gonna arc. It's gonna kind of do one of those, but it'll probably be down here. So it's gonna look good. You can see the width of the spire itself. Remember, there's no detail work going on right now. I'm just trying to get everything figured out. So we've got this here. I need to throw a sea lantern in here to light it up so we don't have to worry about losing out on glow squid. And yeah, I'm gonna get to building. I think I'm gonna do a time lapse after I sleep real quick, and then I'll catch you guys on the other side right before we go doing some detail work. All right, we're back and I've done some work after the time lapse. Got some texturing done. Thinking it's looking pretty good. So I do need to add some grass. And as you can see, I did not go all the way up to a peak like I was going to originally. And it's because halfway through building, I had an idea. So I still want to get that height that we've planted there, but in a different way. So to bring some more of the pirate theme out, because right now we're not super piratey. So what I'm going to do is I'm thinking about right here adding a mast of a ship, and we're going to put a crow's nest up there. So it's kind of like this is the mountain's lookout, if that makes sense. So that'll come later though. I got to start adding in some detail work, and I honestly am not sure how it's gonna go, because when I was placing all this stonework, I was quite literally just kind of throwing it around to see what would happen. And yeah, it might get a little wonky. It might need a lot of work. Just not sure yet. Obviously this is way too flat. That was a misclick. Let's just do some of this, some of that. Yeah. I'm probably gonna need more of the, what is it, hanging roots. I am really liking that block. That's a very nice way to texture the bottom side of dirt, grass, basically anything nowadays. But let me get some grass placed, some bone meal, probably some moss, because we've been going to town with that stuff on the base already enough this season. But yeah, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna come back and we'll see what the finished product, I shouldn't say finish, more complete version of this is gonna look like. All right, welcome back to a mostly complete overhang. Still some work needing to be done here. This feels awkward, I guess is the best way to put it. Maybe it's too stony, but I don't want to get much more variation in it than what I have now, because then it might get a little too crazy. Up here, I'm very happy with how this turned out up here. And even then, we're still not done. I plan on putting a tree towards this end of the overhang. We're gonna have some leaves that come down, some glowberry vines will also come down, which would be really nice. But I wanted to show you guys kind of the foundations before I start covering everything with leaves. I'm hoping leaves might fix this up a little bit. This side's not as spectacular, but it feels better, especially with the amount of cobblestone and moss sitting in here. Maybe that's what I should do. Maybe I should put some moss in some of these stone sections. Like, see this? This feels so rigid. I'm not a fan of this crack right here. So I got to come up with something. I wish there was like a plain stone wall, because that would make life a lot easier. What I can do is actually probably bring some of this andesite and wrap it around right here, and then use andesite walls. Actually, that might fix this side, so we'll be good there. Obviously, I've done nothing to this side. Done nothing at all. This side, I'm still not sure. Omni had made mention about maybe putting like a staircase up, which would be kind of cool. I wish I could come up with like a nice decorative ladder. Actually, you know what? I probably could do that using trapdoors. I don't know. I have to figure it out. Let's just concentrate on this side before we move to this side. We'll do this side later. This side now. So we're going to have the andesite on that side. This side, we're probably going to have to bring some moss and some leaves. That'll help clear that up a little bit. But yeah, I'm really liking where this is going so far. That might be a little too much. Leaf action will fix this. I don't know why I'm thinking about this. Leaves fix everything. All right, we are back, and lots of leaves, lots of vines, and a tree. there's a tree now. I went ahead and made a palm tree right on top. We still have the netherrack in the way though. Don't worry, we're gonna be taking care of that here in a minute. Well, I'll be taking care of that in a minute. I'm gonna send you guys on a little bit of a ride. But yeah, palm tree, it's a very weird I tried to make it lean. Like maybe there was a lot of wind that came this way. I don't know why I did that, but I don't think it turned out too bad. So I'm gonna keep it. I think it's pretty cool. We've been looking at everything from this island. Might as well continue to look at stuff from this island. And yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I'm really liking it. I really need to figure out this section though. Clean this up, get it textured and everything. But before I do that, I want to remind you guys of something that happened 2 months ago. Yeah, we're now covered in very hairy slimes. Which is a bit ridiculous if I have to say so myself. But it does give me a lot of leaves, which is something I really needed. So that's good. We're gonna put our netherite hoe to use, and we have a minter. What? Yeah. So we got pranked. We got pranked a lot that episode. Actually, I want to say that was like one of 3 pranks that happened in one episode. So that meant one thing: I needed to get my revenge, and I waited and waited and waited until I mentioned to Avni while we were hanging out that I needed to do some pranking. And he's like, oh, me too. So we got together and we did this.
Well, that was a busy day. Look at that.
The most ugliest tree of all time.
It's beautiful and you know it. And lots of people know it down there too.
Yeah,
I can't even like get out of It wants me to stay there. It doesn't allow me to jump down. Let's take a look.
I feel a little bad because Jimbo and Para's slimes were actually good-looking slimes, and then we've just built the ugliest tree of all time. And you're actually lighting it up.
Yeah, we need to see the zebra trunk.
All right, I got some torches.
Of course. We can't just leave it like that. The world needs to see that wonder. It's perfect. It's perfect.
I'm all out of rockets.
I can get you some. Do you know where I got them? The best rocket shop on the server. You ever heard of it?
Is Jimbo paying you for an advertisement? Are you knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone?
That's not relevant. Take the rockets. I threw them to you.
All right, we are back. Hopefully you guys enjoyed those pranks. Hanging out with Omni was a lot of fun. And while you were watching that, I was doing this, getting everything ready. I say this, you guys probably saw this last clip. It's been like 2 days since that clip. But I've been working in creative mode because I want to add a mast right here to add that extra height we were talking about. So instead of making this a peak, I was noticing when I got towards the top how thin this rocky pillar was. And so I was like, a good way to substitute piratiness and get the peak I wanted was to put the sail of a ship up here. It makes no sense for a sail to be here. None at all. But it adds more theming to the base. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And it took a lot longer to design the sail in creative mode than I would like to admit. But it is what it is. So I'm going to jump to a time lapse and we'll see you guys on the other side. All right, guys, we're back. Mast is in place. You can see I've added a bit of a ladder on the backside, so technically it's kind of useful. It's a pearl up here. You can climb the ladder and get inside. I really like this little build. It brings... I don't know how to put it. The mountain was just pretty much a mountain with a couple buildings attached to it. The mast starts to bring a little bit of life to it, and I would definitely want to start adding more stuff like that in the future. You can see on this side of the mountain we have a wandering trader. Why is he here? I don't know, but I went ahead and I've done some texturing and stuff, so we're good here. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like this or not, but for now it fills the void. This side, not so much. I've left this. I still need to work my way this way, but we'll get to that in a little bit later. Episode's kind of running a little bit long. I need to go ahead and end it here. I'm super happy with everything we've got done today. We've got 2 pranks out of the way, and we've got a nice little focal point right here. Yeah, it's great. I really like it. It's a nice piece of the mountain. But if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. If you want some more, don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later, guys. Have a good one. Bye.